Would you like to continue the conversation? Yes, I did. I'll answer it again. Take the MAGA wax out of your ears. Stop talking and listen.
Hey, Brian, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the tariff deals. I saw that the UK and the United States came to a deal, and say what you want about it. I mean, I've seen mixed stuff about it, but as someone who's a critic of Trump, at what point like, how many deals have to happen for you to say, you know, maybe he wasn't completely wrong with the tariffs?
Well, do you think right now he's wrong?
I mean, with regards to that deal, frankly, I don't really know enough about it.
Okay. So how can you? Okay. So with respect, how can one say whether the tariffs are working or not if they don't know anything about it?
I'm not trying to say whether they're working or not. What I am saying is
I'll say it's not working. It's not working.
There was a cause and effect because the tariffs came in. Okay. And a new deal got negotiated and signed, right?
Okay, so how many? They said 90 deals. They said 90 deals in 90 days. How many deals have been signed so far? We're 3 weeks in, right? We're actually more than 3 weeks in. We're almost a month in. How many deals have been signed?
Right. I mean, only one.
And why did he sign? Okay, hold on. Why did he sign that deal with the UK? Who did it benefit? Did it benefit us? I do know. Hold on. I do know. It benefited them more than it benefited us. He also just cut the China. Take a look at it. Take a look at the money. Take a look at the money that is being made because of these deals that were put in place. And then you can go listen to an economist or somebody that might not be biased, and they will tell you. Now, if you disagree with me, do your homework and go ahead and look at that. I'm just telling you with respect, one deal has been made. One deal. We were told 90 deals in 90 days. We were told all the countries are kissing his ass and they want to make a deal. Where's the art of the deal? He also caved on China. Do you know why he just caved on China and he cut the tariffs to 80%? Do you know why he did that?
Why did he do that?
President Xi refuses to even talk to him. They are laughing at him. He's caving himself because China is not stepping down. That's not a leader. First of all, he's an imbecile with these 140% tariffs. Now he just cut it to 80%. They have even admitted that they haven't even had any talks with the president of the Chinese government. What does that tell you?
Do you think that China needs to start playing by the rules? Like, if you talk to any...
Playing by... Wait, hold on. Playing by the rules. Your definition would be playing by the rules to just have a conversation with another world leader that's putting tariffs and implementing 100.
What I mean is in more of a broad sense, where you hear these things about China stealing IP, undercutting American workers, undercutting workers from other countries. Like, it's not just an American problem. Like other.
All right, so let's go. I want to go by your standard. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. By your standards, you don't like China taking advantage of us, for lack of a better term. What would you say about an evil, murderous dictator who's responsible for killing thousands and thousands of innocent people in Ukraine? Why wouldn't you go after that person? Why would you send that person COVID test kits in the middle of COVID and call him smart and brilliant and say Ukraine started the war? By your standards, if China's taking advantage of us and you think that tariffs are the best way to handle it, which I would respectfully disagree with you on, then why would you coddle Vladimir Putin? And every single time Trump says Putin wants peace, it's another airstrike.
What about his game? I asked a simple question.
No. I answered your question, and I answered your question. So we can either continue the conversation or you can be an idiot. Would you like to continue the conversation? Yes, I did. I'll answer it again. Take the MAGA wax out of your ears. Stop talking and listen. You're talking and you're defending the tariffs that Donald Trump.
I'm not defending anything.
Okay, so what's your question then?
I asked you a question.
What's the question? Go ahead.
My position is, how many deals would it take for you to say that, hey, maybe this isn't a bad idea?
What they said, what the White House said. I'm trying to answer your question. That means you stop talking. They said 90 deals in 90 days. Donald Trump and his administration said 90 deals in 90 days. If they held up their end,
nothing short of 90. Nothing short of 90.
Nothing short of what Donald Trump and his administration promised. And by the way, if it was 85 deals or 80 deals and say they were 10 deals short, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. So now I'm going to ask you a question. We are almost a month into this. They said 90 days and 90 deals. Let me ask you, how many deals have been made?
There's been one with UK. There's been discussions.
No. I didn't ask about discussions because that's hearsay. Tell me again, how many deals have been made?
Hearsay. You don't have a definition.
How many deals have been made? Answer the question. I'm asking it for a third time. How many deals have been made?
You can keep repeating yourself to try yourself.
I'll ask it one more time, and if you can't answer it, the phone call is over. I answered your question. Now answer mine, you MAGA coward. How many deals have been made? Answer the damn question.
2.
Nope.
3.
One deal has been made, and you're a complete imbecile. And if you want to talk about 2 or 3, that's how many brain cells you have, you frickin' moron. Have a nice day.
Yes, I do think he's in the Epstein files, but I'd like to see some evidence.
Okay, so
you keep saying I believe.
Okay, so you
evidence.
believe he's probably in the Epstein files. Would you still vote for him over Kamala Harris?
Yeah, and I can tell you why.
You would vote for a child predator over Kamala Harris.
Can I actually answer the question?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thank you. I heard you say just before you open up the phone lines that you said, either you think or there's a good chance that Democrats could win the midterms.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, excuse me. Sorry, I'd like to know how you would think that when you look at their approval ratings and it's like
what's Donald Trump's approval ratings?
45%, 44.
What was Donald Trump's approval ratings the first 100 days? What were those?
About 40 plus to 50%.
No, sir. No, sir. Not even close. It was around 39%, and it was according to a Fox News poll and a CNN poll, the lowest.
Okay, so 40% is not even close to 39%.
I'm trying to answer your question because you just put out misinformation. You said 40 to 50%. That is not true. It was at 39%, the lowest approval numbers in 70 years. So you have to get your facts right, David.
Are you going to address my question?
I just told you. You're asking me, do I think the Democrats are going to have a good midterms? Yes, I do. I'll tell you.
And I said, how do you figure when I'm going to
answer and I'm going to answer that. But I do find it interesting that you don't know poll numbers when it comes to Donald Trump, and you said up to 50%, but yet
I was up by 1%. Okay. I said 40 to 50, and it was 39.
It is not 40 to 50, not even close to 50%. I don't know where you're getting that from.
The last poll I saw was 44.
The first 100. Okay, first of all, 44 isn't 50. I think you need to learn math. Number one, David, with respect, and number two, he had the lowest numbers the first 100 days in office in 70 years. Now, I'll answer your question when it comes to Democrats. Right now, where the country is at, okay? Right now, where we're at as a country, there are people that are very unhappy. There are a lot of people in this country that are not happy where this country is headed as far as the economy is concerned. Now, in 3.5 years from now, or you know what, in a year and a half from now, if everything is great and inflation is way down and gas prices are way down and people are working and unemployment numbers are way down and everything is hunky-dory, then I'll be wrong and I will change my opinion on that. But right now, this presidency has been a presidency.
So again, are you going to address why it's so low and how they're going to actually do a good job? Because you're dancing around it.
I'm not dancing.
25% or 20%.
I'm not dancing around anything. I'm answering your question directly, and you don't like the way I'm answering the question. I look right now as a whole, when you're looking at a poll, and I don't know which poll you're looking at, but whatever poll that would suggest that Democrats have a low approval rating, I would retort by saying Donald Trump has some of the lowest approval numbers in 70 years. So
and Democrats' approval numbers are half of his, and his are terrible.
Okay.
So I don't know what world you're living in where you think Democrats are going to do, or are you going to somehow improve?
You don't know.
You don't know. A ton of young male voters.
Okay. You don't know.
I'm assuming you heard that.
You don't know.
Get those voters back.
You don't know what world I am living in. Well, let me answer your question, David, because I don't really take too well to condescending statements. I'll tell you what world I am living in. I am living in a world, and I don't know what country we are living in right now. And the reason why I say that, and you seem to be totally fine with the fact that people are not getting due process in this country. You seem to be totally.
I didn't say that one.
Oh, please. You voted for Donald Trump, and you never call in and you never criticize Trump for anything. Why don't you just admit the fact?
Perfectly willing to criticize them, but I'd like to know why you don't talk about the other issues that are plaguing the party.
What issue?
You voted.
Give me one issue. Let's talk about
literally,
it.
I just told you the fact that they're polling at 20%.
Don't care about polls right now. Give me a specific issue.
Well, you should.
That's not an issue. Okay.
Specific issue?
Okay. Yeah.
Sure, I can give you a specific issue.
Yeah, because polling isn't an issue. Give me a specific issue. Go ahead.
Okay, here's a perfect issue for you. They told us for 4 years the border was secure, and then said, "Oh wait, it's actually not secure. We got to pass a bill to fix it." Mm-hmm. And then, surprise, surprise, they lose because they didn't realize that literally no Americans believe them.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Which specific person said the border was secure? Was it every Democrat in office, or who said that?
No, it was the black woman spokesperson?
It was
whatever her name was
the
Jean
black
something?
it was the black woman spokesperson.
I'm sorry, I don't remember her name.
No, I love the way you describe her. That's very nice. The first thing you do is talk about her race.
I don't remember her name.
No,
I
know you don't remember somebody's name. So let's talk
okay,
about the
ahead.
fact that
make
she's
it about race.
No.
You're the one. Have an argument?
You're the one who just made it about race. The first thing you said was the black
She's
woman.
Black, and I didn't remember her name. That's what I'm going to
All
identify.
right, okay.
I don't remember her name.
I know that's how you identify
if
with people.
If I said to you, that one woman's the white redhead, would you say,
why don't you, hey, idiot, why don't you say the press secretary? What do you have to say? What do you have to talk about the color of her skin? Why don't you say, I'm sorry.
Multiple press secretaries.
Oh, okay.
Are you for real?
The black one. Okay, the black one. Okay, I love the way. All right, why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut up now and let me answer your stupid question, okay?
The question?
Then if you shut up, otherwise I'm going to hang up on you. The black person. Yeah, you're not racist at all. Pod this idiot down.
You're such a child.
Pod this idiot down. No, you're a child. The black woman. I'll answer your stupid question. If you're a coward, you'll hang up the phone. I did not hang up on you. Now, you want to talk about polls, but yet when I bring up Donald Trump's polls, somehow you say he has an up to 50% approval rating. He has never had a 50% approval rating, and you're an idiot and you have no idea what you're talking about. Some poll where you're saying Democrats have low approval ratings, and you're trying to correlate that with, oh, well, Democrats are never going to get back into office. I want you to give me an issue. You mentioned immigration, okay? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got together with MAGA Republicans and put a bipartisan border bill in place. The guy who you voted for, who you seem to wear the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7, the orange one, since you want to talk about color, the orange one, okay, that you support is the guy who wanted that bill to be killed. And that's exactly what took place. Now, immigration has been a problem in this country for decades and decades and decades. I am addressing. You just don't want to listen to my answer.
You ignored the part where I said they told us the border was secure for years.
And who's they? And who's they? The black one? Who's they? One person. Hold on a second. Pod this idiot down again. You named one person, the color of her skin. You don't even know who her name is because you're an idiot. Okay, Jean-Pierre you're talking about. You called her the black one because you're a moron. Okay, you have one person who made a blatant statement without any context that you're giving, claiming that the border is secure. And somehow you turn that into the entire Democrat Party, which makes you an imbecile. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about immigration today, I'm happy to do that with you. But you see, you don't want to talk about the fact that people are not getting due process. So why don't you give me another issue that you have such a big issue with the Democrats, Dave? Give me another issue other than immigration, because you don't even know who the press secretary was. You name one person that makes a statement that the border is secure with no context, and somehow you take that as the entire Democrat Party, which is idiocy. So give me another example.
I didn't say the entire party. I said people in the party, and it just
okay. So name me somebody else. Name me somebody else. Name me somebody else besides the quote unquote black woman, because you don't even know her name. Give me somebody else that said the border's secure. The Democrat Party is filled with thousands of people.
Do you want press secretary? The Jen. I don't remember her last name. She also said the same thing. The border's secure.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When you don't know who the other press secretary is, why don't you call her the white one? Why do you call one of them the black one? Can you please?
Are you for real?
Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
5 minutes ago, I'm trying to answer the question. 5 minutes ago, I said if I referred to her as the white redhead because I didn't remember her name.
Oh, I see. Okay, understood. Yeah, sure. Okay, the black one. But when it comes to Jen,
am I wrong?
By the way, her name is Jen Psaki. By the way, when you're going to quote people, why don't you know what their name is first? It makes you sound like an idiot.
Okay, you don't have an argument.
Oh, yes, actually, I do. Actually, I do have an argument. The argument is the reason why. The argument is the reason why you go to immigration policies because you don't want brown people in this country, or as you would say, the black woman. That is the go-to for MAGA white imbeciles like yourself. You always go to immigration, but for whatever reason, you have no problem with people not getting due process. Let me ask you a question, sir. Do you think Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, or is that not an issue to you, huh? Is that not an issue to you?
Yes, I do think he's in the Epstein files, but I'd like to see some evidence.
Okay, so
you keep saying I believe.
Okay, so you believe he's probably in the Epstein files. Would you still vote for him over Kamala Harris?
Yeah, and I can tell you why.
You would vote for a child predator over Kamala Harris.
Can I actually answer the question?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Because a ton of people on both sides are likely in those files, and if they're released, the whole house of cards is going to come down. A lot of people.
Who else is in there?
Support, a lot of people I probably.
Maybe I missed that. Who else is in there? Did Elon Musk say anybody on the left was in there? Maybe I missed that. Who else is in there, David?
I don't know. He just said. Said Trump.
Okay.
Again, I'd like
so who did Elon Musk? Okay, so I just had somebody on the phone that is Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Okay, a little bit more credible than you when it comes to this stuff. He said he believes Elon Musk. A little bit.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so he believes.
Okay, so why is Pam Bondi not released it then?
Well, I literally just told you because there's probably a ton of names in there that they don't want people to see.
So you think that there's a lot of Democrats in there and Pam Bondi and Donald Trump don't want to ruin and tarnish the reputation of Democrats? Yeah, that's a very logical explanation,
That's not
David.
what I said. I said a lot of names on both sides.
So why do you think they would?
So
why do you think they would promise to release it and then they didn't do it? Why would they promise to do it? Remember when Pam Bondi?
Because of what you just said before, which I agree with, is his name's likely in there, and they probably can't figure out how to.
So you're okay supporting him, even though his name is likely in there and he's a child predator, most likely, but you would still vote for a child predator, allegedly, over Kamala Harris. I think that speaks volumes. Hey, have you ever, can I ask you a question? Have you ever called Kamala Harris the black lady before, like you did with Jean-Pierre?
I love the fact that you're
answer the question. Answer the question. When you talked about Jen Psaki, you didn't call her the white woman. I'm asking you a question. Have you ever referred to Kamala Harris as the black woman, as you did with Jean-Pierre? Because I know you want to talk about immigration.
No, I remembered her name.
Oh, because you remembered her name. Gotcha.
Well,
okay.
So
if you don't remember, a lady's name, you always refer to her as the black lady. Is that a fair characterization, David? If you don't remember who somebody is that happens to be black, you call them the black woman. But when it comes to a white woman,
Brent,
no.
I really hope that you guys continue to do this.
You guys, I really hope that you get deported to Gaza. I hope all of you guys get deported to Gaza. What do you think about that, David? You are an imbecile. You call into this show with your right-wing talking points. Every single time you do it, you fail to criticize Donald Trump for anything. You only want to talk about immigration. And then when you try to quote somebody, you don't even know their name and you refer to her, Jean-Pierre, as, quote, the black woman. Do you realize, David, you sound like a racist? Do you realize you sound like an imbecile and you are Donald Trump's base? That's exactly who you are. You always go to immigration, but yet you don't seem to have a problem with people in this country not getting due process. I'll tell you what resonates with David. Okay. And I don't even know if he's still on the line or not, but I'll tell you what resonates with David. It's not make America great again. David, isn't it make America white again? Doesn't that resonate with you, David? Why don't you admit that? Make America white again is what resonates with you, isn't it?
Am I still on the line? Can I answer?
Yeah, you can answer. By the way, her name is Jean-Pierre. Just so you know, it's not the black lady. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, here's my response to that is if you want to pretend that not wanting millions of people in the country illegally somehow equates to racism, then go right ahead, because that's why the Democrats lost, and that's why they got their asses kicked.
Oh, really? That's why they got their asses kicked, because you think so do you think systemic racism doesn't exist in this country?
I think it exists.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, let me tell you why I think one of the main reasons why I think Donald Trump won, because we have too many middle-aged white people like you that are ill-informed and uneducated that voted for Donald Trump because you didn't want to vote. Excuse me. I don't care whether you're 32 or 62. The reason why Trump won, the main reason, because we have ill-informed, uneducated white people like you who wouldn't vote for a woman. And you certainly wouldn't vote for a black woman. So that's why I think Donald Trump won, because we have too many idiots in this country like you. That's why. What do you think about that, David? What do you think about that?
Well, again, I'm happy you think that, because that's why that party will continue.
Okay, David, it's just, I'm talking to an idiot. Every single time you call into the show, you make absolutely no sense. You only want to talk about immigration. You never criticize Donald Trump for anything. And then when you don't know somebody's name, you refer to her as the black woman. You were exposed, David. You're a racist, and good luck at your Klan rally tonight.
Called it a couple times a little while ago. I got a little pushback for you today.
That's okay.
So,
go right ahead.
I need you to calm down. Check your blood pressure before and after.
Blood pressure's good, Joey. Go right ahead.
I believe that what Bill Maher did was a good thing.
Why?
And the reason for that is because you need to be able to break bread with the people you disagree with.
Okay, so let me respond to that. Let's start where the bar is for you. Are you okay with inviting Nick Fuentes and breaking bread with him with Kanye West, a known Hitler lover? Or are you? Is that okay for you? Let's just start there, because he did that.
You talking about Trump did that?
Yeah, Yeah, he did that. He invited Nick Fuentes and Kanye West. So I want to know where your barometer is. Are you okay with the president inviting people like that to dinner? As you would say, breaking bread with a Hitler lover and a Holocaust denier.
I believe Trump did say he didn't know about that.
Hold on, Joey.
But I'm also not very familiar with that.
Okay, so Joey, I'm making you familiar, so I need you to pay attention to me now, okay? So even if that is true, that he didn't know who Nick Fuentes was, that was the week where Kanye West started spouting off his nonsense about Hitler and praising Adolf Hitler. So Donald Trump knew what Kanye West was saying. He absolutely knew that Kanye West was praising Adolf Hitler. Forget about Nick Fuentes for a moment.
Are you saying when he invited him to
Mar-a-Lago? I'm talking about Mar-a-Lago. You're saying you think it's a you're saying you think I don't have the exact date in front of me, but that doesn't change. That doesn't change. Hold on. It doesn't change my question. It doesn't matter whether it's Trump 1 or Trump 2. The question's still the same.
I mean, it does.
No, it doesn't actually. Because Joey, I need you to hear me out, okay? You just said you think it's good to break bread with people you disagree with. I'm asking you a very specific question, and it doesn't matter whether it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you're a politician or the president of the United States, whoever you are. Are you okay with Donald Trump, quote, breaking bread with a Hitler lover? It's a very simple question. Why won't you just answer it?
I think you need to have, I don't like the Hitler lover. But I think
I didn't ask you if you don't like the Hitler lover. I'm asking you the question again for a fifth time. Are you okay with breaking bread? I'm using your own words with someone who is a Hitler lover and a Holocaust denier. I'm just speaking in general terms now. Can you just answer that?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. You're okay with it.
I'm okay with it. And the reason why I think there's so much backlash with this Bill Maher thing is because, Brian, you specifically...
Hold on a second. Hold on. Joey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm mesmerized by your answers. So, okay, I'm trying to figure out where your line is. Are you okay with breaking bread with a rapist? You disagree with him. I want to know where... Do you have a bar? Do you have a line anywhere? You're okay with breaking bread with a rapist? Are you okay with that? I'm speaking in general terms. Is there anybody you wouldn't have dinner with?
Let's get off the ad hominem.
No. That's not an ad hominem. It's not I'm not insulting you. I'm asking you a question. You don't even know what an ad hominem is. I'm not insulting you. I'm asking you a question. Are you okay, or would you be okay with breaking bread with a rapist? Just answer the question. That's not an ad hominem. It's a question. It would be an ad hominem if I called you an idiot. I haven't done that, at least not yet. Would you be okay?
Brian, I'll break bread with anyone. I'll break bread with anyone who's willing to have a productive conversation.
Okay, got you. So you would be willing to have a productive conversation with a terrorist. You'd be willing to have dinner with Vladimir Putin. You'd be willing to have dinner with a rapist. You have no morals, sir. You're saying that you would spend quality time with anybody. What if somebody raped a member of your family? Would you still have dinner with them, sir? If they were willing to have a productive conversation? You just said you'd be willing to have dinner with anybody. Answer my question. Would you be willing to have dinner with somebody who raped a member of your family if it was, quote, a productive conversation? Yes or no?
It depends what the conversation is about.
It depends what the conversation is about. So you're telling me if somebody raped your wife or daughter, if you were willing to, if that guy wanted to break bread with you and have a productive conversation, you would have dinner with a man who raped your wife or daughter. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Brian.
No, don't Brian me. Answer the... No, we're not off topic. No, we're not off topic. You said you'd be willing to break bread with anybody. It doesn't matter whether they're a rapist. It doesn't matter whether they're a terrorist, which is an idiotic thing to say. Now I'm getting personal with you because I don't think you have a line that you would draw anywhere. I can't even talk because I'm so mesmerized by you. Would you be willing to have a conversation with somebody who raped a member of your family if they said, hey, I just want to break bread with you and have a civil conversation? You'd be willing to do that, sir?
Can I finish what I was originally
No, I want you to answer my question. No, answer my question.
All right, I will answer your question. Will you break bread with the people?
No. You don't answer a question with a question, you frickin' idiot. You answer mine, you dumbass. Would you be willing to have a dinner with a rapist who raped a member of your family? Answer the question, you imbecile. You don't answer a question with a question. Now I'm getting into ad hominem attacks because I've asked you 10 times. You think it's okay for anybody to have dinner with anybody, no matter what they are. They could be a terrorist, they could be a murderer, which makes you an idiot. Well, let me tell you something. I don't think anyone's willing to break bread with you because you're a dumbass. What do you think about that? That's what we would call an ad hominem attack. That you can't say, geez, I really wouldn't want to spend some quality time with a rapist. I really wouldn't want to break bread and have dinner with a terrorist, even if they were willing to have a respectful conversation. That makes you a deplorable idiot who voted for Donald Trump. Why don't you admit you're an idiot with no moral compass? Why don't you say, hey, my name is Joey. I'm an idiot who voted for Donald Trump. Why don't you say that now, sir? Since we've proven what a moron you are, go ahead, admit it. I'm Joey and I'm an idiot. No. So he says I'm off topic. He started the conversation saying I would break bread with anybody. It started with Bill Maher and Donald Trump. And then I said, where is your moral compass? Are you willing to break bread with anybody? Yes. A terrorist? Yes. A rapist? Yes. I even asked him, would you be willing to break bread with somebody who raped a member of your family, your wife, your daughter? Well, as long as the conversation was civil. No, I'm not changing the subject. I'm just proving to everybody you have no moral compass, you have no credibility, and I could give 2 Fs what your opinions are, Bill Maher, and I would also be willing to bet not many people are willing to break bread with you because you're an imbecile. Have a nice day, sir. Holy smokes. That's a good way to end the show.